Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Julia's Palette Studio, a place where you can paint your heart out. Today's video that I'm going to share with you is an excerpt from the video class that I did called A Simple Lemon. It is a watercolor video class, still life, painting from the very start of the painting to the very end. I hold nothing back in this class. I share with you my thought processes as I go along. Obviously, as I'm painting, I'm sharing everything that I'm doing, even my mistakes. Yes, even as a seasoned painter, I still make mistakes. But it's a great class. It is 9 hours of instruction, sharing the whole process, like I said, from the very start of the painting to the very end. So I hope you enjoy watching this. If you do, then by all means, feel free to purchase the video class for yourself. It comes in 3 parts. It's not all one 9-hour long video. It comes in 3 parts so you can watch it as you wish. Stop it, start it, come back to it, however you want to do it. But I hope you enjoy watching the excerpt from the class. And if you do decide that you'd like to purchase it for yourself, by all means, visit my website or my Patreon page, and I'll leave those links down below so that you can purchase it for yourself. So in the meantime, enjoy the view, enjoy the watch. And by the way, if you like what you see on my video, if you've gotten anything from it, please like and subscribe and share too. That wouldn't hurt either. So thanks, guys, and paint your heart out. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the video. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. So welcome back. Welcome back to Chapter 3. Happy to have you. Welcome back to the paint along, everybody. All right. That's going to have to be softened. I guess I'll do that right now before it dries too much. All right. We'll just let that go and see what happens. All right. Okay. There. And, oops, I have to wait to do that. Okay. Anywhere. Okay. All right. All right. So now I'm going to take a step back and look at what I've got. Right now, this is sticking out like a sore thumb. That whole area right there is sticking out like a sore thumb. Why? Because that's the only color, that dominant color, that's there, except for this spot right here. I am going to try and, even though I'm seeing it on the, I'll try and put it in here. I think that would be a good place to put it, in the pattern in here, to pull it up. And I'm going to have to pull it down in here as well. And that'll be down in here on this side. So I'm thinking ahead, I'm thinking about how to pull this together, because right now, if I don't do another color with this intensity anywhere else, this line, that whole, it makes a line that's going to dominate the entire painting. And we don't want that. That is not what we're after at all. So I know that in this area here, I'm going to be using the opera to mix, and I'm going to mix it with some dioxazine violet or phthalo blue, because I see in the reference photo above, up there, I don't know if you can see it, right where the lemon is, right in that area, straight over my paintbrush, right about there, straight up. There's some beautiful violets and pinks. At least when I'm looking at my reference photo, I'm seeing beautiful violets and pinks. So that's what my goal is, to find some more of those for sure. And that will tie in this with this. And then we're going to tie that up, put a little bit more down up there. And then down in here, there's going to be some of that. Now I did a different pattern than what is in the cloth. I repeated the circle pattern that I have up in here. I repeated that down here, because I wanted a repeat of that. Because I also have this kind of like a chain link going on here, and some circular stuff going on up here. So I did take that polka dot area up on the top of the reference photo, and I'm putting it down here as well. And that's going to be in the pink. That's going to be in that pink. So we're going to tie those together. That's my plan. That is my plan. So I can do that, actually. I can start adding that stuff right now because it's dry. So I can start adding some of that pattern in, which makes me very happy. And we'll start tying that together. Now, obviously, the lemon is not done yet. Still working on that. I still have another layer to go there. But I kind of want to do a little bit more in the background before I do a little bit more there. I got to add some pink in here. I got to do that. So that's not quite dry yet. So I have to wait just a bit for that. Excuse me a second. I have to take a sip of water. Oh, thank you. Whew. Had to take a sip of water. Okay, so this is still drying. This is dry. I can add some of that. So I'm going to mix up some glycerin and opera. That seems to be, whether it goes red one way with the alizarin or blue pink the other way with the opera, that's pretty much, those two colors are going to be mixed one way or the other to get the desired color that I'm looking for, darker or lighter. Yep. Okay. I think I'm going to add a little pink to that. And now I got to add water to it because it's not that dark. You got to make it the same hue, same value as what I'm seeing. And that is way too dark and way too pink. So, got to add more alizarin to that. Yep, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing more of the alizarin than I am the opera. So it's going more towards the way of the alizarin than it is the opera. So I'm going to start adding in that pattern shape. I hope I don't mess up here because it's small, very small. Do a little bit at a time. Well, that's the tedious part. That is definitely the tedious part. This is the painting the fleas. I don't really like, I should probably wait more towards the end, but I feel like I need to pull in some of this color just to see where I'm going, making sure I'm in the right direction. Absolutely. I'll make sure I'm heading in the right direction. Oops. That, I didn't do that. Too much water on my brush. Too much water on my brush for that. I know, like I said in the other chapter, in chapter 2, there are some artists that painstakingly paint every single woven thread in their work. I cannot do that. I don't have the patience for it. The older I get, the less patience I have. And sometimes the harder it is for me to paint with watercolor because of that. Sometimes I don't want to wait. I want to get to it. And sometimes, like with watercolor, you have to pretty much think ahead. And I don't really fly by the seat of my pants in watercolor. Sometimes I like to do that. And so when that happens, watercolor is not the medium that I want to use. Nope. It would be more like pastel, oil, or acrylic. Something that I could change if I had to. In case I made a mistake or just changed my mind. I'll keep this here so I can keep dabbing it. Sometimes we change our mind. And sometimes in watercolor, we can't. Once you're on a path and you've committed, that's it. You don't have that freedom to change. Yeah, it's the nature of the beast with water. Oh, well, I just lost my light. Hang on, guys. I gotta fix that. Well, I certainly don't want that to happen again, so I'm gonna have to pay attention for sure. It's down just a bit. Yeah. Okay. Okay, now I got more room. I didn't leave myself enough room on the table. I did not. This brush comes to a beautiful point. Remember how we said having a watercolor brush that comes to a good point is the best brush you can get. Where it holds the water and the pigment in the belly and then comes to a beautiful point. That's what you want. Moving right along here. Okay, so you're getting the idea of what I'm doing. I'm going to hold this up to the camera and get a better idea of what I'm doing. Okay, I'm just laying down the pattern. And I will be going back over this with more shadow, but right now I'm just laying down that woven pattern. And I think I'm just going to pause this so I don't bore you guys until I just finish that, and then I'll come back. Okay? I don't want you guys to be totally bored. So I'll be right back. Shadow there, there. Okay, so I've got that established. You can see it. Oops. Oh, wrong way. Sorry guys, I went the wrong way. That is where I'm going with that. Right like that. Okay, so that's how I'm treating that area. So all of the little dots that are in shadow, I just mixed up a little alizarin crimson with a little ultramarine blue to get just dark shadowy colors for that. And any other design that I have using those colors, it'll be the same. That will be the same. That's kind of how I go about doing shadowed areas. Now I may have to go over this again, but that's okay. That's totally fine. I'm not going to make the background any darker, that's for sure. And once this whole thing gets built up with color, right now that's kind of standing out a lot right now. But once this all gets added and built up with more color, that's going to seem pretty quiet. So I'm not worried about that right now. On this area here, I'm going to use, that is a little bit darker. When I'm looking at the reference photo, those dots are pretty dark. So I have to, they're actually kind of golden, orangey brown looking. I mean, they're not like bright reddish at all. So I'm wondering how I should treat these as well. These little like chain links up here, up in that photo. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Gotta mix that color. The color that I'm seeing in the pattern here, this pattern, these like wheels, I see them as pretty straightforward alizarin crimson. So I'm just gonna try that. I'm gonna try that. Actually, no, I have to put another layer of color down. I do, because that's not, I think I needed that to be a little richer, darker than what I have. So I am going to add another wash of color to this. Yep. Needs to be a little richer and darker than that one. So that's what I'm doing right now. Let's add that. Bring that up in value. Bring it down, rather, because we're adding more. Yeah, this here is not as high key as that is. So I'm glad I did this now instead of later. Absolutely. Better now than later, they say. So I don't know. Okay, that's good. I'm looking at that now. I'm liking that. And I'm also seeing this area needs to be a little darker too. So I'm going to just kind of use that same mix. And I'm going to add some more of that to this area. But I got to keep in mind my highlight areas. So we're going to lay this down. And then I'm going to take my dry wet brush. This one here I'm going to leave, I think, pretty pale. I think I'll just leave that. So now I'm just taking my water, dabbing the brush, just going to soften those. You can come to the middle. You can blend in the middle, meet in the middle. We're going to soften that edge there. Fresh water. Let that travel. But it's still going to be with a highlight, which is fine. So I'm going to leave that. Okay, and this one I'm pretty much going to leave alone. Yeah, because that's, well, I'm going to add a little bit right there. Just a little bit to the edge. And then fan it out. And that is okay. Get rid of that. Take that, pull it out. Okay. Yeah. Well, you know what? I just need a little bit more because when I'm looking at it on the screen, I don't see it. I'm just going to drop it in there. Yeah, right there. All right. I'll let that go like that. That's good. That works. There. I just laid down some more of those blushes because I want to get some shadowy areas, some cloth-like ripples, folds, wrinkles, all that good stuff. Right? Yep, all that good stuff. So, okay, so I have to be patient and I have to let this dry. So right now, that's dry, pretty much dry. What can I do next? What can I do next? Let's add some of that pinky color right in there. Okay, let's add some of that. And I'm going to have to tone it down. And I'm going to add over here. I'm just going to add. I'm going to try just a little bit of phthalo. See if I can get. I don't want a lot because it's pretty strong. Let's see. I'm looking for a real pretty violet like we had yesterday. That yesterday I mixed opera with dioxazine violet and I got a beautiful, well, that's a good color right there. I'm going to add just a little bit more opera to that. A little bit more. Yeah, that's about it right there. All right, one more test. Yep, okay. Well, I don't think so. I think I want the opera and the dioxazine violet again. I'm not. I think I want that again. That was such a beautiful, beautiful violet that I got. But that's way too dark. Okay. So now I have to go over here and I have to, let's close the bridge. Gotta close the bridge. This is the water bridge. I don't want that. I don't want my paints going into each other. Do not want that. So let's add some more opera to that. There we go. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's a little bit more vibrant than that is. So that's what I want. Okay. And put a little bit more opera on this side. Okay. All right. That's what I want. So I've got this side and that side to work with. So this is what I'm going to do. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to start adding that in here. That is what I'm seeing here. I'm not painting fleas, but I do have to fill in these areas. Shoot, I'm already painting out of the lines. I don't want to do that. Sharp line. Okay, I have to stand back, stand back, and set back and wait. Be patient. That's dry. So guess what? Where's that alizarin crimson? Yeah. And add a little bit of that cadmium red. I'm going to add just a little bit of that. And I'm going to test it. I don't think that's going to be right. Not for that spot. That'll be right for right here, but that's not right for up there. Okay, so let's add some alizarin crimson going. That's what I need for, yep, that's what I need for over here. All right, so I'm going to turn this around. And while that's drying, I'm going to paint in this pattern down here, up here rather. And I'm going to dab my ever so lightly, gently. Yep. Lightly, gently. Put that in there. 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 All right, let's see. Mm-hmm. 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 Boy, didn't do that one correctly. Nope. This is tricky. Let me tell you. I kind of moved on this one. Sometimes it's nice to use watercolor markers if you can. I probably should have thought about using that for these, but I didn't. Maybe I'll do it somewhere. Maybe I'll use them somewhere. But I mean, if they're real watercolors, you have no reason not to use them. If it's real watercolor paint. If it's not real watercolor paint, then you don't want to use them. If it is, then use them for sure. Okay. That right there. Right. Um, another little, just another little. Oh, and all right. So for now, I'm going to leave that. Oops, I forgot one. I didn't see it down here. Glad I saw it. It's too late. Glad I saw it. All right. All right, there. Okay. So, all right, guys. So, yeah. All right, I'm going to stop there. This color that I put down here is going to go right in here. So that's going to tie in there. I have to draw the pattern, but that's going to go right here. So that's going to tie in. And then there's some of that is going to go down in here as well. So that will definitely tie in. So, and then the background of this is actually going to be more like that. So that's going to tie in as well. So I have to figure out how I'm going to create that look. I might just put salt down. I'm not sure. I might do that. I might. I'm not sure how I'm going to go about doing that because I do kind of, oh, and that color there is going to go right there. But I'm going to use the marker right there. I'm going to use that alizarin crimson marker because that there is too small for these brushes. That's what I'm thinking anyway. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to play around with that a little bit and see what the best way is to get that. But I'm going to be using that same color, that alizarin crimson, down right in there for that tiny little checkered pattern. That's what I'm going to put there. And then you'll see the alizarin crimson over here too. Okay, guys, so that is it for this chapter. And I'll be back with the next one. But in the meantime, guys, you guys have a great night. And next chapter, I'm going to be wearing a different shirt, just so you know. I know I wanted this to look like I'm painting it all in one day, but this is day 2. So tomorrow you'll be seeing day 3, putting this together for you. So don't be surprised if you see me in a different outfit, not outfit, but different shirt. And we'll get this thing done, okay? Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. And we'll see you in chapter 4 next time, okay? You guys have a great night or day, and I'll see you soon. Till next time, guys. Happy painting. Take care. So, guys, if you happen to like the video and thought it was interesting, you got something out of it, or you just liked it, please make sure that you guys hit like and subscribe. And you know what? Even share it. Thanks, guys. And I will see you soon next time at Julia's Paint Your Heart Out Fine Art Studio. Talk soon. See ya.